Coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Play action. It's Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play.
And I feel a little bit like a traitor as a former defender because that big man did not want to go down and refused to go down. If you're a defender and you don't get the right angle on a big tight end like him, he can run right through you like you're not even there, and he did a lot of that on that play.
It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. The Lions at 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
They fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down. You look at this defense for the Vikings. They come in a top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
You have to like the way that they've played in the first month. They have to be very proud being a top 10 unit against the pass. Their goal, though, in this one, see if they can improve that ranking.
From the 46, here's second down and 8. Goff going to shift him around. Another run for Gibbs here. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 3rd and 5. Now they'll change things around before the snap. Goff. Throw left side complete. That's Gibbs. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And they'll use him out of the backfield and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs to the 27-yard line. This defense for the Vikings, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Vikings are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy. It's not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 37.
Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
You talk about this Lions defense.
And they've played well against the pass. Currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes. See if they can generate some run after the catch. But nothing doing on that one.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
3rd and 9 here. To the air with McCarthy. Checks this one down. It's Mitchell.
Well, I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot. Maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
They'll indeed go. Here's McCarthy. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
First down, here's Mitchell.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Next to receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Less than a minute to go here in a scoreless first quarter to this point.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard.
They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell.
Well, he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. We're scoreless after 1. The Vikings with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with 4th down and 1.
Going for it. Here's McCarthy.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th, and the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed them up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their 2nd possession.
Yeah, one great way to jump.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Detroit.
Jahmyr Gibbs, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Lions post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter.
The game had been pretty uneventful offensively until that big strike.
No doubt about it. Almost felt like they were just going back and forth a little bit in the first quarter. But in the 2nd quarter, things ramped up a little bit. Things jumped up. And you're exactly right. Going to make a highlight film or two. We'll be watching that one later on today.
point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Buying time to his left. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Brandon, I think he's just grateful to get back to the line of scrimmage and avoid not just losing yardage, but a big hit on that play as well. That defense closed on him quick and forced a quick surrender out of bounds.
Here's 3rd and 10. Throwing is McCarthy. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Here's Goff. And that is incomplete here.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. Gibbs straight ahead. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
2nd down, and they go back to Gibbs. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Here's 3rd and 6. To throw is Goff. Throws out left. It's caught by Williams. And the Lions are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll run with Gibbs. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Again, it's Gibbs. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Now Goff. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're coming off a 4th down gamble that last drive that backfired CD, but really not as badly as it could. Their defense held up and only gave up 3 points.
And what they want to do is play off the momentum the defense gave them. Only giving up the 3 points in that situation after they failed on 4th down. Now they want to make it pay off. They want to pay homage to the defense and have their own drive pay off in points for themselves. From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed 1st down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Consecutive runs of 6 yards gives him a 1st and 10.
But, partner, if the defense isn't going to adjust and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7-yard runs over and over, they're likely to run it the whole way to the end zone. They'll be more than happy to take the yardage available and save some of their other plays in the playbook for another time.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, Can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Escaping the pressure right. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up second down.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Looking to throw McCarthy. He'll buy some time right. And he'll just get rid of it.
One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in, and he's just got to throw this one away.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To the air again, McCarthy. They'll roll him out right. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
On 4th down, McCarthy. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th, and the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with a 10-0 lead, you figure they won't try to do anything foolish here. Goff now looking to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
When you're a capable runner, oftentimes your quarterback coach, your offensive coordinator, they love to see you break the pocket and go ahead and take off. I think he could have gotten vertical and picked up something there. Instead, he pushed it downfield. Incomplete.
A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Forced out to his left. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. The 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So what a play there in the final minute of this first half. They get the interception. More importantly, their first points of the ball game.
Yeah, and that one play certainly changes the outlook, doesn't it? I mean, they're looking at going into the locker room. No points on the board. Not playing well defensively. Deflated. And now, things may have changed for them.
4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. A solid stiff arm. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. This is a game, Charles, that's been fairly starved for offense. Really not much in that first half. We'll see if they can get something going here as we look toward the third quarter.
And not just a chance to finally get a little more offense going, but to erase that small deficit they currently trailed by. I think they'd send a pretty powerful message to the opposite sideline if they drive it right down the field coming out of the half.
Here's McCarthy. Dancing to his left. And he's got this to Jefferson. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 36 yards on the play.
He just had the feeling that sooner or later someone was going to come up with that one play. Neither team has really done a whole lot offensively, but here's one that pays off to the tune of big yardage, and it's one that could maybe get this group in gear.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now a 2nd and 6. Right back to Mitchell here. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Third down from the gun, McCarthy. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sack back at the 38. Flying in for that sack, Aiden Hutchinson. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Now Goff looking to change the play. Second down, and they go back to Gibbs. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Touchdown, Detroit! Jahmyr Gibbs with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10. McCarthy operating from the gun. Flush to his right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Now McCarthy. Steps away to his left. And his throw here is incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. To the right side and intercepted. And the Lions are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
Straight ahead with Gibb. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Well, let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game. And all of them started with ball security in some form or another, understanding that taking care of the ball was the key to winning games. They can't believe what they're seeing right now because they spend all this time on it with the fundamentals, taking care of it, tucking it away, and they're not doing it.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
So 2nd and 10 now here in the 3rd quarter from Detroit. Working out of the gun is McCarthy. That one complete to Naylor. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Flushed out right. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. And the Lions are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball, and that one was picked off.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And while they hope to continue this drive, it's really already mission accomplished. They've given enough space now that they have to pump the ball. They've done so with that first run.
Final minute now of the third quarter. On to give. Here's Gibbs. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6.
And remember, this is a running back that fumbled on the previous drive, but fortunately for them, nothing came of it. And I think when that happens, sometimes coaches can lean a little more on forgive and forget. So he's right back out there and running again.
Back to throw. Goff. That is caught. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. Hand off now to Gibbs. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 115 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Going back to Gibbs on 1st down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8. Goff going to move his guys around a bit. They'll go again with Gibbs. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48, a gain of just 1.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. I like the call. It looked like the right time to dial up a running back screen, but this one got disrupted right from the start and ends up falling incomplete.
Here's Goff. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll go out of bounds just shy of the 20. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. To the air with McCarthy. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. 10 more for him on that one. He's been a busy man. It's a 1st down.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Second down at 6 now from the 42. Operating from the gun, McCarthy. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. The extra point up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings booming away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. In motion goes the tight end. Drive starts with a run from Gibbs. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
This is 2nd and 8. Here's Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Goff going to shift him around. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Now Goff taps this forward. That's a jet sweep. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now run by Gibbs. And now a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he will have a Lions first down, and that's the one that should seal a victory. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football, because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 10 yards is the pickup there, and that should just about put a bow on this one. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. And Gibbs has it. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and a little bit of a surprise they lose the turnover battle, but wind up winning the ballgame.
And this is very unusual because you know all teams stress winning the turnover battle as a key indicator to winning ball games. So when you get something that goes against the grain like the one we saw here, it's quite the oddity. Now let's face it, they'll be very happy that they pulled this off, but they do know that in the future they've got work on taking care of the football because this won't happen very often.
So for Detroit, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.